So I believe that when you feel good and strong and confident in your physical body, you're able to give more to those around you, to your relationships, to perform better at work, and to focus in on what it looks like to pursue your happiest and healthiest life. Hello, beautiful peoples. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the humble kettlebell deadlift. Now, if you've seen the guided home workouts here on my channel, you may have noticed that many of them are structured around a single kettlebell. And that's because I'm a dork for kettlebell training. I think it is just the bee's knees, the kitty's titties, the cat's pajamas. It's awesome, okay? It's a simple yet incredibly versatile tool with which you can build strength, improve your athleticism, increase your endurance, and do it from just about anywhere. Not only have I seen great benefit to using kettlebells in my own workouts, but as a personal trainer, I've also been fortunate enough to witness that same shift in my clients. From those that had never previously weight trained to the seasoned gym goer, I've seen kettlebells benefit all walks of life. I think that something almost magical happens when people lift weights. And I know that sounds so silly because we're talking about weightlifting, but I really do think that it teaches you some really valuable life lessons like discipline, consistency, patience, and that hard work really does pay off. And it sounds silly to say that sweating for an hour a day is going to transform your life, but I really honestly believe so, that when you start to get stronger or faster or improve physically, that you develop confidence, and that trickles into how you perform at work and how you show up for your friends and family around you. And that is by far my favorite part of what I do, is being there to witness when that change happens in others. It's the best. And so in that vein, I'd like to announce the launch of my newest kettlebell fitness program, Allyned Strength. It includes 6 weeks of 15-minute kettlebell workouts and can be adapted to any fitness level. It requires minimal equipment, just one kettlebell, a jump rope, or access to outside space for running, and optionally, an exercise mat. You can do the workouts either from the comfort of your home or take it with you to the gym. I've designed this program to be as accessible as possible. So the workouts are efficient, taking just 15 minutes, and I've included modifications to meet you where you currently are, as well as progressions to help keep you on track and get stronger over time. So whether you are completely new to lifting weights or it's been a long time and you just want to get back into it, this is the program for you. You will have all of the tools that you need to also build a workout using compound moves that deliver a fabulous bang for your buck. So what's included in the program? You'll have 6 weeks of 15-minute kettlebell workouts, including 3 full body mobility classes designed to keep you flexible while you work to increase your strength. There are 8 in-depth exercise tutorials for the compound moves. I've also included resources to set you up for success throughout the program, which include things like notes on maximizing muscle gain throughout the program, logging your progress, and maintaining flexibility and mobility as you get stronger. So if you'd like to build strength and increase your athleticism and just feel good in your body, then make sure you pick up a copy of Allyned Strength, which will be linked in the description box below. And if you do pick up a copy and start the workouts, I would love to hear your feedback. As I said, this is my favorite part of doing what I do, so please do not hesitate to either leave a comment down below on this video or send me an email, because I love hearing from you all. It really does make my day to know that you are getting stronger and pushing yourself physically and mentally, so I would love to hear from you. The tutorial for the kettlebell deadlift that I've included in this video is actually taken from the program, and I wanted to have it here on the channel as a resource in case someone was looking for the correct form cues to perform the move, but also as an example of the kind of moves that are included within the program. Hello and welcome to this tutorial for the kettlebell deadlift. Now, the deadlift is a fabulous move. It works to build strength in your entire posterior chain, and for today we're going to be breaking it down using a single, humble kettlebell. Now, you may need a few things for today's tutorial. First is, obviously, a kettlebell. Second is going to be a wall. Third is some point that you can mark on the floor. And fourth, depending on how your deadlift form looks, you may want 2 evenly sized books of roughly 2 or 3 centimeters, so not super high. All right, let's get to it. The key here for the deadlift is you're going to work to push your hips back rather than down. So a little bit of knee flexion, bending to the knees is okay as long as they are not moving forward throughout the movement. So let's break down a few of the biggest cues that you need to practice in order to perform your deadlift perfectly every single time. So we're going to start at our handy dandy wall. I want you to take maybe a 2-foot distance away from the wall and then turn to face away from it. So this is going to help you if you find that you are often squatting instead of hinging the hips back in your deadlift. So you can take your feet hips distance or maybe just a little bit wider, whichever one feels better for your body. And then instead of squatting down where your knees would travel over your toes, you're going to work to bring your hands onto your hips and then push your hips back until your bum makes contact with the wall. So if you find that you're falling, you may need to adjust the distance a little bit, bringing the feet a little bit closer or a little bit further if you touch the wall right away. But I want you to take maybe 5 or 6 reps just like this, working to watch your knees so that they're not moving forward, and instead just pushing your butt back like there's a little button on the wall that you're trying to tap. Boop. Let's go 3 more together. As you come up, I want you to exhale and squeeze your glutes forward. So don't worry as much what's happening in your back, just worry about your hips. Hips back, tap the wall, hips forward, squeezing into your glutes. 2 more. Last one. Good. So we focused first on the hinging backwards. Second is when you come up to stand, sometimes I see students overextend their back as they try to push the hips forward. Trick for this, or a fix for this rather, is coming to stand against your wall and trying to align 3 points here. So first, your glutes, and then pulling your ribs in so that you feel your shoulder blades, or just below your shoulder blades, touch to the wall, and then tucking your chin slightly so that your head touches to the wall. So we have this hollow body shape, really engaged, also known as kind of a standing plank. This is the position I want you to be in at the top of your deadlift. So you're moving your hips forward to squeeze into your glutes, but your back stays straight. So you're not putting your back in any risk of overextension and potentially putting unnecessary load on your low back. Okay, next tool we're going to be using is our point on the floor. So my beautiful home rug happens to have this really nice pattern that you can see my kettlebell currently resting in between. And as we set up, same move that we did at the wall where we're working to push our hips back, we're going to now add the weight. So feet a little bit wider than hips distance or hips distance, again, whatever feels best for you, that your knees are comfortable throughout. Pushing your hips back, imagining that there's that wall, and then before we even pick up the weight, bringing your hands down as if you're going to grab the kettlebell, finding it on that spot on the floor, and setting up here. So I want you to think of a triangle shape when you're here, with your knees, your hips, and your shoulders. Let me turn to the side so you can see. So your knees are below your hips and your shoulders are over your knees. So the hips are back, knees not moving past the toes. We're locked and loaded here for our deadlift. Next up, I want you to imagine that you have 2 nice lemons in your armpits. I want you to squeeze those lemons as hard as you can by rotating your shoulders towards one another, kind of shoulders open. So we have our triangle, knees, shoulders, hips. Squeezing the lemons to activate your lats, nice and active here, and your head is going to be looking slightly forward. So the back stays neutral throughout. We want to think about that plank position that we had at the wall, neck, mid-back, and hips. Nice straight line. Okay, hinging the hips back, looking just slightly in front of you onto the floor, lemons, squeeze, and then finding your bell, or grabbing your bell rather, take an inhale here, and then with your exhale, standing straight up into that plank that we established at the wall. Inhale, hips go back, tapping the button on the wall, squeezing the lats, squeezing the lemons, exhale, hips forward. 2 more, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good, inhale, setting the bell back down, coming to stand. So the pattern that you've established on the floor, or that little detail that you found on the floor, is going to be really helpful for making sure that you set the bell back down in the same point every single time. So the trajectory of the bell, if you were to film yourself from the side, would be straight up and down. It's not traveling in either direction because all of the motion, all of the motion is coming from your body, from your hips. Hips go back, hips go forward, everything else stays straight. The trajectory of the bell and your back. And the last thing that may come in handy is 2 evenly sized, pretty small books of about 1 centimeter or 2. This will be really nice if you find that you are having a hard time connecting with the hinge movement and find that you're squatting instead of hinging back. So if your butt's going down rather than back. What you can do is take these books, place them on the floor, and then elevate the ball of your feet and your toes onto the books. This will bring more weight into your heels, and it may help you establish a stronger connection with that pushing back as your toes will be lifted. This also works if you have the opposite problem. If you find that you don't have any knee flexion and you're just pushing your butt back and leaning your chest forward, then you can do the opposite, elevating your heels, bringing a tiny bit more weight into the toes, and that may help you to push the knees slightly more forward, hinging back here. If you are completely new to the deadlift, I would highly recommend filming yourself or grabbing someone off the street to come and look at your form to make sure that you're ticking all of those boxes that I have just mentioned. So remember the lemons in your armpits, the triangle between your shoulders, hips, and knees, pushing your butt back rather than down, and keeping your back straight so you have the line between your neck, your mid-back, and your glutes. And that's all for today's tutorial. Thank you all so much for joining. Wishing you the best of luck on your deadlifting journey, and I'll see you back here very soon. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for your support. This channel has turned into something that I couldn't have even dreamed of. I'm so proud of the community that we've built on here of like-minded health nuts, and I'm so glad that I started the channel back in 2018 and just can't wait to see where things go. So thank you all for sharing a little bit of your day with me. The program will be linked in the description box below if you'd like to check that out. With that, wishing you all a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you back here very, very soon. Ciao, guys.